Let's see how this works. Oh, chilling, dude. It fits like a champ. Look at that. How does it look? I am the final boss. Ready? Following you. Maybe. That way? Oh, thank God. That's a big hill. Huh? Oh. Lead the way now, man. It's a big hill. Alright, Pop. Oh, I know right where we are, dude. Like it? Mid? Makes you sound like you're my kid.
Kid says mid?
Huh?
Kid says mid?
I said it makes you sound like you're my kid when I call you Rye Guy. It's like son his dad would call his son.
Say no way your son's already saying mid.
No, he just says dada, dada.
7.
And we are in the water. Welcome to my channel. This is my first YouTube video ever, so I hope you enjoy. On this first dive, me and Ryan finally got to the spot, ended up pedaling like 7 miles for the day. Yeah, it was quite the adventure, but we knew it wasn't going to be the best diving we'd done on Oki, but we had to scratch that itch, get in the water. I mean, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, right? But I'm taking this first drop here, kind of just stretching out my lungs, seeing what the bottom looks like. And there's some reef species milling around there on the right. And right about now you can see that snapper cruise through center screen. And I'm actually going to grunt at this fish and see if I can maybe coax it to coming back in and giving me another chance. But unfortunately it does not, and snapper was just too smart for me on this one. So this next drop, pretty quick one. Ryan's actually underwater here, and he spooks this snapper, and I notice it's pretty skittish, and I almost dive bomb on top of this fish. Get down to the bottom, extend, and miss the going away shot. That fish escapes, and yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. So here, I notice this little bommy almost coming up off of the reef, and it looks promising, so I decided to go down on top, creep around a little bit, maybe poke my head into some of the holes if I can find any. So I go down here, not very deep, maybe 10 feet of water, maybe 15, and pretty little reef species there. And I find this hole, see some kind of little bream milling around in there, but nothing I'd want to shoot. And yeah, come back up to the top and let Ryan know what I found in that hole.
Is it okay fish in there?
On this one, I noticed there's an okay cut between this big slab of rock and this little bit of structure on the right. I noticed there's a decent amount of life going on around there. Maybe, I think I see a couple parrotfish, small parrotfish, some reef species, so I decided to drop down, check it out here, and I kind of find my way to the back end of that structure. I see there's a decent cut, and I want to creep around the front of that. So I'm going here, and I'm looking, and I'm just really not seeing much as I'm going through. I come around the corner, and nothing is there. I either spooked everything, or it was just an abyss. Come up to the surface here, and this part was actually kind of scary, because a little bit rougher day for Oki, not super familiar with the currents. Only dove a handful of times out here. We know the currents can get bad. And I come up and Ryan is nowhere to be found. So I'm looking around, trying to locate him. And there he is. He pops back up. And we were all good. I know this isn't the safest way to dive, but you know, we're decently experienced. I shouldn't say decently experienced, but we've dove a few times. Super shallow water. Not a ton of current. This clip here, me and Ryan have these rabbitfish come and buzz us. Super good eating fish. I'm trying to get Ryan's attention. Super curious fish, and this was actually the first fish I shot on Okinawa. So super excited to see some more of these guys. Unfortunately, they don't come check us out, but they do lead us to some pretty promising seascapes. For this next clip, personally, I think this is the best clip of the whole video, but look at that water. There's no filter applied to that. It's that bluish purple haze, absolutely beautiful. I've never seen it anywhere else, but I've also only dove in Southern California. I noticed this fish over here on the left side of the screen. Looks like a small grouper. I drop down using this cover, trying to be pretty passive with this fish. He's pretty skittish. I get down to the bottom, I'm grunting, I'm scratching, I'm trying anything in my power to bring him in close. Unfortunately, he's just not having it. He kind of posts up out there, watches me, has a little bit of interest, but as soon as I try to make any forward motion towards him, he's going to go ahead and decide this isn't for him and swim off back to another hole that he calls home. And as I surface here, this is where the clip gets interesting. Thought about cutting this clip out, but I'll just go ahead and let it play, keep it transparent.
I had a cramp. I got a really bad cramp.
Yeah, we gotta watch that boat. I think you zoom it by. That's why I told you to go in.
I need help.
Actually,
I had a cramp.
So as you can hear there,
Right calf.
got a pretty bad cramp, got a little stressed out, needed a little bit of help, and Ryan, being a good dive buddy here, zooms over, goes under, helps me stretch that out, and yeah, that's what it's all about. I mean, having a good dive buddy. We had a boat zooming around us. Things could have got bad. We weren't using a float.
That was brutal.
Thankfully, it all worked out.
Still doing it, but
We got home safe, and I had Ryan there to
I
save
thought
my
you were gonna
calf.
come in when I was scratching.
Pretty cool footage of Ryan here. He dropped in to the right, about 15 foot of water here, gets behind that little rock, tries to stay hidden, sits on the bottom, and is kind of just looking around. Maybe something will come by, and there just wasn't a lot around in this area. So he sits down there for a little bit and then decides to head back up. Another good third person Ryan here. He drops in, kind of checking underneath that reef, doesn't see anything going on, shoots over to this bit of structure here, and he looks underneath it, keeps that spear on his right side, his outside hand, in case there is something in there he wants to shoot, and there is. Tries to get it in there, and he just can't quite get it lined up to take a good shot. Comes up to the surface, and he tells me there's actually a little grouper in there. Couldn't get it lined up, second guessed his shot, and he was a little bummed about it. Grouper zoomed off and lived to fight another day. For this dive, we were actually heading back in. It's getting late, and I spot this snapper in no man's land. I try to land far away from him. I get down to the bottom, trying to make really slow, deliberate kicks, movements, trying the old grunt trick. He starts to come back in, kind of check me out. I probably should have shot right there. Just didn't quite have my arm extended. He was a little far. And I decided to chase this fish, which you're never going to shoot a fish when you chase them like that, especially with a pole spear. But sometimes they just happen to be a little too cheeky.